All right, guys. So, I want you all, before we begin, to close your eyes and think about your favorite book from when you were a child. What is your favorite book from when you were a child? What did that book teach you about? Did it teach you anything? What did it teach you? Open your eyes and tell a partner what your book was and what it taught you about. You can work in a group of 3 if you need to.
Manners. It taught me not to do that. Everyone is mine was
Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Eyes back up here. Okay, I heard some great answers, and I want Briley to stand up and share your answer with the class about your favorite book and what that book taught you, because I love your answer.
Mine's Pete the Cat because.
Which one? Are all of them?
The one where he had the new shoes.
Oh, Pete the Cat in his new school shoes, or the Rocket in his white shoes?
White and his red shoes.
Love that book. And what did it teach you?
It taught me to be myself, and it didn't matter what he wore because it didn't matter what his shoes looked like. He was just happy.
So what would be the theme of that story? Yes, Chloe.
Be yourself.
Be yourself. That's a great theme. Exactly. That's awesome. Okay, thank you, Briley. Keeg, stand up and tell us what your book was and what you learned from that book.
I don't really remember the title, but it taught me how to be sneaky because, like, the zoo animals got out of their cages and then they got in trouble and sent back to their cages.
Oh, so don't be sneaky. That would be a theme of the book, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, today we are going to be able to identify a theme. Do we all remember what a theme is?
Yes.
You think so? We're going to watch a video just to refresh our memories. It's just a quick video. So we're going to be able to identify a theme. We're going to be able to summarize a text. What does summarize mean, Ridgely?
Like a quick, like storytelling of the story.
A quick retelling of the story. And we're also going to be able to identify story elements such as the main ideas, the big events, the main character, and we're going to be able to do all of this with text evidence. I know you all love text evidence. So, all right, go ahead and turn your eyes up here. This is a video and we're just going to review what theme is. It's just a quick 3-minute video.
What is the theme in a passage? In this lesson, you will learn how to identify the theme in a passage by asking, what did the main character learn? First, let's review. You know that readers grow ideas about characters while they read. You also know that theme is the message the author is trying to share with the reader. This is a message that is central to the entire book or passage. It is often an important life lesson that a character learns. Some examples of a theme are friendship, fairness, honesty, and love. A common mistake when thinking about theme is that thinking theme is what the book was about.
If this is a common mistake, what is what the book was about? What's that idea called? Cambria? Not the genre. Gracie?
The main idea.
The main idea, exactly. What the book was about is the main idea of a book, okay? So let's keep going.
First, I will pause after finishing a passage. I just finished this passage, A Dog's Tale. I will stop. Next, I'm going to ask myself, what did the main character learn? I'm going to try to think of big life lessons. Well, I know that the main character in this passage was Alexis Jones the dog. So let me think. Alexis learned to be strong from her mother. She also learned to think of others in a time of danger, like when she saved the baby. She learned that having a puppy made her very happy. This one in the middle here strikes me as very important. That's a life lesson that she learned from her mom. She learned to think of others in a time of danger.
Why would that be a theme and not those other two?
Because
Jaden.
that one's a life lesson.
A life lesson. But learning to be strong from her mother, I mean, that's kind of a life lesson, isn't it? So why does that not work, Kanan?
Because it's just something cute. Like,
Think about the difference between these two. Why would this one not really be the big life lesson, but this one is? Yes?
because she's thinking about herself. Because it's about herself.
Well, this one's about herself, but sometimes theme can be about yourself. Riley, do you have an idea?
It's kind of hard to say, but like, it's like that one's like it's telling you that she learned it from her mother, and then that's telling you a life lesson that she learned.
Well, this one you can apply in your life. You can do this. Learning to be strong, that's just something kind of internally. But this one's something you can actually apply. You're going to think of others in a time of danger. And so let's keep watching. I think it'll explain it a little bit further.
She learned to not just think of herself. That was why she rescued the baby. Let me jot this down. The theme of this passage is remembering always to think of others before you think of yourself. In this lesson, you learn to pause after finishing a passage. Next, you can ask yourself, what did the main character learn? Finally, you can jot down your ideas. In this lesson, you have learned how to identify the theme in a passage by asking, what did the main character learn?
Alright. So, think back to your conversation that you had just a few minutes ago about the theme or what you learned from your book, your favorite book as a child. Was that a true example of theme? It was? Did anybody have something that they thought was the theme, but now they're thinking there actually might be a different theme in the story? No, we're all perfect on theme. We know exactly what theme is. We're ready to identify it in a story. Okay, so good. We're going to go on then and read Thundercake. Who's read this book before? Yeah, so a few of you, so some of you guys are going to be familiar with it. So this is a book by Patricia Polacco, and we are going to read it. What are some things we need to think about and be ready to identify? Cambria?
What the lesson of the story?
Lesson, which is called the theme. Okay, Ross, what's another thing?
I was gonna say theme is also moral.
Moral. Yeah, theme and moral, they're related. They're a little bit different, but you're right, they are related. What's another element we need to be looking for, Alex?
The main characters, because if you don't know the main characters, you really don't know the book.
That's true. We need to be thinking about the main characters because after we're done, guys, we're going to be filling out this response sheet right here. And so the main character in this story is Grandma. I'll tell you right now, it's Grandma. So you're going to have to use text evidence to explain Grandma's character and talk about what she looks like and the things she does and how she acts. So you're going to have text evidence. You're also going to have to identify some other things. What else do you guys think this might be? Alexa, do you have an idea? I'm thinking of story elements. I'm not sure. Call in a friend to see if they can help you out.
Gracie. Like the different story elements.
What are some examples of story elements that we're going to have to be finding?
Text evidence and
We will need text evidence to support some things. Remember, we talked about these just a few minutes ago, Kanan.
the main idea.
Main idea is one, yep, because we're going to be writing a summary.
What the main character learned.
Main character learned, and then we're also going to be talking about the setting, the beginning, middle, and end of the story, and of course the message. So make sure you're paying close attention to those things, okay? We're going to go through and read it, and I am going to read it to you. Pay close attention to the pictures too, because the pictures really help to tell this story. I know that those of you who have read this know that. On sultry summer days, what's a sultry summer day? Cambria?
Like a nice.
It's a hot summer day. Sultry is hot. At my grandma's farm in Michigan, the air gets damp and heavy. Storm clouds drift low over the fields. Birds fly close to the ground. The clouds glow for an instant with a sharp, crackling light, and then a roaring, low, tumbling sound of thunder makes the windows shudder in their panes. The sound used to scare me when I was little. I loved to go to Grandma's house. Babushka, as I used to call my grandma, had come from Russia years before. Using the text clues right there, what do we think Babushka means? Keeg?
Grandma.
Grandma. What language is that? Gracie?
I'm gonna guess French.
Use your text evidence. Read what we just said. Use your text evidence. What language?
She's from Michigan.
Well, she lives in Michigan, but where did she come from? Hold on just a second. Let Gracie have a chance. Read the sentence right here. Babushka, as I used to call my grandma, had come from Russia years before. Russian, exactly. This is Russian for grandma. But I feared Michigan's summer storms. I feared the loud sound of thunder more than anything. I always hid under the bed when the storm moved near the farmhouse. This is the story of how my grandma, my babushka, helped me overcome my fear of thunderstorms. Grandma looked at the horizon, drew a deep breath, and said, "This is thunder cake baking weather, all right. Looks like a storm's coming to me." From that picture, how can we tell a storm might be coming? Emma Claire?
Because the clouds are gray from the other side of the field.
What's another thing? Does anybody know? Jaden?
You can kind of see rain a little bit.
Yeah. Look at the animals. Does anybody know anything about farms and what animals do in a storm? Ridge?
They kind of get scared.
They get scared. They gather close, Kaden?
They gather all close together.
Yeah, to protect themselves. Here's another one. Who's this here? Babushka.
And her chicken.
And her chicken.
2 chickens.
We've got chickens on the wall too.
Oh wow.
I never noticed this.
I did.
Child, you come out from under that bed. It's only thunder you're hearing, my grandma said. Where's Patricia?
Thunder.
Yeah, she's right there. Look at the cat.
The cat's just like a nice
He's
bed.
hanging out. How does Babushka look?
Fun.
I need, let's see, 3 different adjectives about how Babushka looks. Chloe?
She looks
Caring. Who have I not heard from? Alexa?
scared.
Let's see, here's Babushka. Does she look scared?
Wait, no.
Patricia looks scared, but how does Babushka look?
Loving.
Loving. One more, Briley.
She looks very calm.
Calm. Those are great adjectives. Remember, we're focusing on Grandma throughout this because she's the character that we're going to talk about afterwards, okay? The air was hot, heavy, and damp. A loud clap of thunder shook the house, rattled the windows, and made me grab her close. "Steady, child," she cooed. "Unless you let go of me, we won't be able to make a thunder cake today." "Thunder cake?" I stammered as I hugged her even closer. Don't pay attention to that old thunder, except to see how close the storm is getting. When you see the lightning, start counting, real slow. When you hear the thunder, stop counting. The number is how many miles away the storm is. Understand, she asked, and that's actually a true fact. We need to know how far away the storm is, so we have time to make the cake and get it into the oven before the storm comes, or it won't be real thunder cake. Her eyes surveyed the black clouds away off in the distance. What does surveyed mean? Emma Claire? Studied. Great. Then she strode into the kitchen. Her worn hands pulled a thick book from the shelf above the wood stove. Let's find that recipe, child, she crowed as she lovingly fingered the grease-stained pages to a crease spot. Ah, here it is, thunder cake. She carefully pinned the ingredients on a piece of notebook paper. What does it mean to pin the ingredients? Cambria?
Write them down.
To write them down. Now let's gather all the things we'll need, she exclaimed as she scurried toward the back door. Now how does Patricia look? Ridge?
She looks very calm now.
She looks calm. She's excited. We were by the barn door when a huge bolt of lightning flashed. I started counting like Grandma told me to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then the thunder roared. 10 miles! It's 10 miles away, Grandma said as she looked at the sky. About an hour away, I'd say. You'll have to hurry, child. Gather them eggs careful, like, she said. Eggs from mean old Nellie Peck Hen. I was scared. I knew she would try to peck me. I'm here. She won't hurt you. Just get them eggs, Grandma said softly. Is that proper grammar? No.
Probably because she's.
Then the lightning flashed again. Y'all can count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I counted 9 miles, Grandma reminded me. Milk was next. Milk from old Kick Cow. As Grandma milked her, Kick Cow turned and looked mean right at me. I was scared. She looked so big. Zip went the lightning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I counted. Boom went the thunder. 8 miles, child, Grandma croaked. Now we have to get chocolate and sugar and flour from the dry shed. I was scared as we walked down the path from the farmhouse through tangleweed woods to the dry shed. Suddenly the lightning slit the sky. What does it mean if the lightning slits the sky? Anybody know, Ross?
It like came through the.
Came through the sky, it went right through the sky, it slit it in half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I counted. Boom, ba-boom, crashed the thunder. It scared me a lot, but I kept walking with Grandma. Another jagged edge of lightning flashed as I crept into the dry shed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I counted. Crackle, crackle, boom, kaboom, the thunder bellowed. It was dark and I was scared. So what's Patricia? Her character is always what? She's always what? Scared. She's always scared. I'm here, child, Grandma said softly from the doorway. Hurry now, we haven't got much time. We've got everything but the secret ingredient. So what is the secret ingredient?
Thunder.
Thunder. That's a great guess. What do we think it might be? Anybody else? Apple? Tomato? 3 overripe tomatoes and some strawberries. Grandma whispered as she squinted at the list. I climbed up high on the trellis. Does anybody know what a trellis is? Emma Claire?
Is it like a tree?
Not a tree. Alex?
Well, you can climb on it
It's kind of like a ladder, but it's kind of like stuck on something.
Alexa?
Is it kind of like a stool?
Not a stool. Keeg?
Was it like that thing she was on in that picture?
Exactly. This right here is a trellis. So you might see them if you know somebody that has a garden because plants can grow up them. And so the plants can grow on them. Briley?
My grandma's neighborhood, there's these people who always has these things on their wall and there's plants growing up it.
Yes. They are great for plant growing. The ground looked a long way down. I was scared. I'm here, child, she said. Her voice was steady and soft. You won't fall. I reached 3 luscious tomatoes while she picked strawberries. Lightning again! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I counted. Kabang! Boom! Maroon! The thunder growled. Some loud thunder. We hurried back to the house and the warm kitchen, and we measured the ingredients. I poured them into the mixing bowl while Grandma mixed. I churned butter for the frosting and melted chocolate. Finally, we poured the batter into the cake pans and put them into the oven together. Lightning lit the kitchen. I only counted to 3 and thunder rumbled and crashed. 3 miles away, Grandma said, and the cake is in the oven. We made it! We'll have a real thunder cake. So what, have we figured out what is a thunder cake? It hasn't told us. Do we know what a thunder cake is yet?
Just a cake.
You think it's just a
That
cake?
you make in the thunder.
That you make in the thunder, Jaden?
Yeah, I think that's
Is that what we all think? Is that our
You know,
hypothesis?
the cake and the thunder that makes you like stop thinking about like the thunder and lightning.
That's a great hypothesis. Kaden?
I think it's somewhat like crazy what she thinks. I think it's like supposed to help you not be scared because she had to go out all these places in the thunder.
Yes. Chloe?
I think it's somewhat what she said, and you have to put the cake in the oven right when the thunder hits, or else it wouldn't be a thunder cake.
Okay, let's read on. Let's find out. As we waited for the cake, Grandma looked out the window for a long time. Why, you aren't afraid of thunder. You're too brave, she said as she looked right at me. I'm not brave, Grandma, I said. I was under the bed, remember? But you got out from under it, she answered. And you got eggs from mean old Nellie Peck hen. You got milk from old Kit Cow. You went through the tangleweed woods to the dry shed. You climbed the trellis in the barnyard. From where I sit, only a very brave person could have done all them things. There's the cat again. This cat doesn't seem too concerned, does he?
No,
I know why they're talking like that. They're on a farm. A lot of farmers talk like that.
Yes, they do.
When
They
they're
don't
in
have very
Michigan.
proper grammar. I thought and thought as the storm rumbled closer. She was right. I was brave. Brave people can't be afraid of a sound, child, she said as we spread out the tablecloth and set the table. When we were done, we hurried into the kitchen to take the cake out of the oven. After the cake had cooled, we frosted it. Just then, the lightning flashed, and this time it lit the whole sky. Even before the last flash had faded, the thunder, I want everyone to make your best thunder noises, rolled, boom, crash, and boomed. Good job. Just above us. The storm was here. Perfect, Grandma cooed. Just perfect. She beamed as she added the last strawberry to the glistening chocolate frosting on top of our thunder cake. Doesn't that sound delicious? Ross?
I wonder what they did with the tomatoes.
That's a great question. I don't know, because it doesn't sound like they had tomatoes on this cake. As rain poured down on our roof, Grandma cut a wedge for each of us. What's a wedge? Jaden?
A slice of the cake.
Slice. She poured us steaming cups of tea from the samovar. What is a samovar? Ross?
It's like an old time thing where they made tea.
It's kind of like, it's like a vase.
Yeah.
Yeah, has anybody ever,
It was in the other picture.
was it? Let's see.
In the next picture. See, it's right there.
Yes.
Who's
Well,
that cat?
I don't. Sam of our. I'll show you guys a picture of it in just a second. I'm
Oh,
not sure
wait,
if that's it.
That looks weird.
Okay. When the thunder roared above us so hard it shook the windows and rattled the dishes under the cupboards, we just smiled and ate our thunder cake. From that time on, I never feared the voice of thunder again. And here's the recipe for thunder cake.
Now we can see where they
This is a real recipe, so if you guys want this recipe, I can print it out for you guys, and you guys can take your thunder cake recipe. So,
Do we have to make
Wait,
it in
I
the
wanna
thunder?
see
No.
what they do with the tomato.
so listen, so we had a few different hypotheses about what a thunder cake is. Turn and talk to your partner about, after we've read the whole story, what is a thunder cake?
I think a thunder cake is can make a cake and make thunder cake from a thunder. So
I think it's like you make a cake. You make a cake.
So whose hypothesis, we got a couple who said the same thing, was correct? EC, whose was it?
I think it was Gracie's.
Who else thinks Gracie's hypothesis was correct? Okay. Who thinks that somebody else had a better hypothesis?
I don't think so. Not a better.
Not a better, or maybe a different one that you think, that you agree with more. Not better, but a different one you agree with. Kanan, Cambria's, and Cambria, tell us yours again.
A cake they make during a thunderstorm.
And actually, both of their hypotheses are correct, because you do make this during a
That's why I didn't
thunderstorm.
say better.
Yeah, it's not better, it's just different. And I think that they're both right, because Grandma was doing this to take the focus off of the fear, right? So now, so we read this story. Now I want, do you have a question, Ridge? Or you have something to add?
Gracie's? I didn't.
Gracie, tell us yours again.
I think a thunder cake is something you make during a storm so you you will not be scared. You can
Yes,
take the
exactly.
remote.
And that's exactly what Grandma's doing. She's trying to take the focus off. Okay, we're almost done, Andy. You're going to shake out. Shake it out. Shake. Okay, focus back just for a couple more minutes. We're almost ready to break into our individual groups. So, what we need to talk about now is we have a few different things on here, and this story is going to be available to you guys on your Chromebook, so you don't have to worry about text evidence right now. But we need to talk briefly about Grandma, the setting, the beginning, middle, and end, and then the message. Okay, so I don't want us to give away all of the answers because you're going to have to fill this out on your own, and so I don't want everyone to shout out their answers. But just in your partner groups, real quick, and you can get in groups of 3 if you want to, 2 or 3. Just kind of talk about each of those story elements and what did we learn about this story. And remember, in the video, what did it tell us to do? After we read something, what did it tell us to do? Keeg?
Find the main, look for the main character.
Look for the main character, but it told us to do something specific. Chloe?
Ask us who is the main character.
Who is the main character? We want to pop. What I'm looking for is what, Cambria?
Ask yourself what the main character was.
You're going to ask yourself what the main character learned. So you're going to stop and you're going to think. And you're going to say, what did the main character learn? So in this story, we had 2 main characters, really. But the one I want to focus on for our character development is Grandma. But you will have to say what the main character learned. And in this case, to figure out the moral, who do you have to look to? You need to really look at Patricia. You could look at Grandma too, though, because there are 2 different lessons that you could be learning here. So just briefly, couple of minute brainstorm talk with your little groups, and let's see what we come up with before you go on and work on this on your own.
So what did Grandma learn?
I think Grandma learned how.
Guys, I'm hearing Grandma didn't learn anything, and she may not have learned something, but what is she teaching us? She didn't, you're right, she didn't really learn anything, but what is she teaching us?
She's not teaching us to
Okay, let's come back in 3, 2, 1. Now, I don't want full sentences about the theme because, like I said, this is going to be you on your own. What are some just some key words maybe. Some key words for our theme. Emma Claire,
Don't be scared.
don't be scared. Jaden,
Be brave.
be brave. Key,
Help others.
help others. Alexa,
Fearless.
fearless. Gracie,
Don't worry about what scares you. Try something else.
try something else. Kaden, was that what you were
Try
gonna say?
something new.
Try something new. Cambria,
Face your fears.
face your fears. So I think you guys have all started to come up with some great things. Now what you're gonna have to do now is you need to use your text, and I'm gonna need specific cited text evidence about Grandma and how you know what kind of a person she is. So on our sheet it says, describe Grandma. What does she look like? Well, what are we gonna turn to find that? Keegan?
The picture.
Our pictures. And what does she act like? What do we have to turn to find that, Emma Claire?
The
Text evidence. Describe the setting. So we're gonna do what for that, Gracie?
Looking at text.
Text, and we might be able to use our pictures too, right, Ridge? Yeah. And then we have the plot of the story. What's the plot? What's the plot? Alex, what's the plot of a story?
I know the theme. I really forgot what a plot
I forgot the
is.
plot. Okay,
But,
call. Huh?
The theme is try stuff.
Well, no, I don't know. I'm just asking what is a plot. I don't want to know the plot of this story. You're going to have to tell me that on your own, but I want to know what is a plot, just in general.
That's what I was trying to say. I don't know.
Okay, call on a friend to help you out.
Ross.
Ross?
A plot is the main events that take place.
Exactly. And in this, we're going to do the three big important events. So the beginning, the middle, and the end. Okay, and then Alex, you know what what a theme is. So what is a theme? Not the theme of this story, but what is theme?
Theme is whatever part of the story, like what you do in life.
What you do in life. So it's the one word I'm thinking of.
Perseverance.
Well, that's an example of a theme, but just in general, theme is what, Cambria?
The lesson.
The lesson or the message that the author is trying to teach, exactly. And a lot of times, and just like in our video we saw, does that through the main character. Okay, so before we go back and work, let's wrap up what we've learned about today. So today we've learned about what a theme. Keek, do you have something to add? Did you want to tell us what we learned? You tell us.
We learned that a theme is like the lesson.
Exactly.
Or moral.
Yep.
And that, that's all.
Yeah, so that's the main thing we learned about. Ross, what else did we
We
learn?
also learned what to look for to get the theme.
Exactly.
Look for what the main character learned, or in this case, what it taught.
Exactly.
What
So,
the main character
and one thing that I'm hearing is theme and moral are very closely related, but there are a few differences, and we'll talk about that a different day. But just so you know, there are a couple differences. Okay, well, you guys did a great job, so we will go ahead and get started. Just